really think about it, right? You think about the reality of why you are living how you're living and you see the truth. You understand that actually you were basically born to be a loser. And it's nothing to do with you individually, but it's just that most people, the vast majority of people, are born in a losing position. Only a small percentage of people are born with an advantage to win. Now, I'm not going to say that you can't win. I'm not that's doomerism, right? But I do acknowledge the fact that this is a reality. Okay, I do acknowledge that and I do accept that and I do understand exactly that the situation that you were born into for most people is quite unpleasant. I mean, it's something that is not being acknowledged by a lot of the gurus. A lot of the gurus like to tell you that, well, you should just blame yourself, even if it's not true, blame yourself for everything. I don't agree with that strategy. I don't agree with that line of thinking because if you blame yourself for everything, how do you come to actually a solution? That's how they con you, that's how they scam you, that's how they keep you in their mind frame. See, I came to my conclusion by understanding that. See, you guys know what my conclusion is, right? I've said it many times. Get your money, okay? Make some money, start your online businesses, grow your online businesses, and move overseas, move to Southeast Asia, right? I didn't come to that conclusion by only blaming myself. I came to the conclusion by blaming myself and blaming the country on top. See, this is the thing. This is how you have to understand everything. You can't just understand your own flaws. These gurus don't even tell you why, you are flawed, really and truly. Um, the gurus don't like to talk too much about the system and the status quo because they themselves are pawns. They're peons themselves, these gurus. Look at guys like Alex Hormozy. I stopped listening to Alex Hormozy like, you know, uh, probably about 2 years ago. I mean, Alex Hormozy liked to pretend like, oh, my father was an immigrant and try to come across as relatable. The truth about Hormozy that he never tells you that his father's a multimillionaire. He never tells you that his father has been running a private practice, right? He's an oculofacial surgeon, basically a plastic surgeon, right? His father's been running that since 1992. So when Hormozy was a kid, right, his father was running a private practice, right? They do all kind of surgeries. You can go on the website, Darab Hormozy, Darab Hormozy. He's advertising like, Botox, and you know how big that is, bro. Like, you see that? You see, I put up those videos in my shorts. Every chick got it now. Facelifts, Botox, Asian upper eyelid. Asians get the upper eyelid surgery. He's doing all that stuff, and he's been doing it for almost 30 years, right? Or more than 30 years, right? So Hormozy never grew up poor, but yet he want to pretend like he did because his father's an immigrant. These guys are frauds. A lot of these guys didn't even grow up poor. And they might say, oh, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter though, because growing up poor, that's why you think the way that you think, because you grew up poor. It's a completely different. See, people who didn't grow up poor, they shouldn't be giving advice to people who grew up poor. See, I grew up poor, so I can give advice to people who grew up poor. They can't give really true advice, and that's why their advice isn't that good because the experience is different. That's why we have men's channels and opposite gender channels because men's experience is different to opposite gender experience. So this guy Hormozy, his advice isn't that good. Hormozy, he never grew up poor. A lot of these guys are privately educated. A lot of these guys had a natural work ethic, man. They had a natural work ethic. A lot of these guys, like Gary Vee, he was working hard from when he was a child. He developed natural work ethic. It's easier for him to do stuff because he developed a natural work ethic. Natural work ethic is not something that you can attain in adulthood. You can't do that in adulthood. You have to have it as a child. I will never have natural work ethic. My work ethic is all, it doesn't come second nature to me. You got to be like privately educated, or your parents got to be like really like, on you all the time to get you do this, do that. That's how you get it, but you just don't get it from, you know, I'll never have it. See, but you won't hear any gurus talk because gurus ain't, they don't really tell you the truth. They're just trying to sell you stuff, man. Oh, Alex Hormozi, I have nothing to sell you, but yet he's selling shit now. I mean, these guys are just frauds. I mean, stop listening to big channels. My advice to you guys, stop listening to any big channel, man. Just stop following them. It's like you want to feel validated by other people. Stop trying to fit into normie society. The reason why I don't get views is because people come to my channel and they see that he's getting low views. So I'm not, yeah, because you want other people to validate your own, decision to listen to me. Why do you need other people to validate your decision to listen to me? It's about whether I'm speaking the truth or not. I don't care how many subscribers somebody has. It's about whether they're speaking the truth. I don't need validation from other people to validate the reasoning to listen to this individual. I don't need that. I don't need to do that. I benefit from my own videos. I'm going to create this and I'm going to listen to it back myself because it's beneficial to me. Okay? But that's the thing, like a lot of the stuff that they tell us, man, is all a bunch of lies. I mean, education system, oh, just go to school, get an education, go to university, and you'll have a nice job. And that's a lie. That doesn't work. It might work for some people, but the percentage of people that works for, how many of them are privately educated, though? You take out the percentage of people that are privately educated, um, that percentage drops a lot, man. It's like you gotta understand that the typical model does not work, man. Why do you think I became an entrepreneur? I became an entrepreneur because I realized the typical model doesn't work. Why do you think I'm going overseas? I'm expatriating overseas because I realized the typical model doesn't work, man. It doesn't. They love to sell you these myths, and that's why you have to blame the country. You have to blame the society because they sold myths to us. They sold lies to us. Yet we're supposed to be okay with that. No, I'm not okay with that. If a guy goes to an old lady and tells them that, their house is falling apart, they need to, you know, pay for this, procedure or whatever, right, to fix up the house. I mean, they do these kind of scams to old ladies, and you have to pay us 30,000, and we're gonna do up the house, and we're gonna fix it. And some of these people got like the Parkinson's, and they're not thinking straight, and they scam them. Is it okay, because they fell for it? It's like, oh, you fell for the lie of society. It's your fault. Okay, but why should I stay in the country then? It's like that's the thing. Like, yeah, it's your fault. I mean, I blame myself, man. I knew, and the thing is, I knew society was full of shit from the beginning. It was my parents that brainwashed me as well, which is why you don't tell anybody about your future plans. Don't tell anybody about your future plans, bro. Especially not, your business plans or your expatriation, because they will brainwash you, bro. I knew the system was bullshit from the beginning, man. I knew it was bullshit from right from the beginning. It's not like I didn't know that. I knew it was. What they sell to you doesn't work. The gurus say, oh, blame yourself for everything. Yeah, I blame myself, but then what though? What comes after that? Oh, you're the savior now. You want to be my savior with your bullshit courses, your bullshit. Nah, bro, I'm not against buying courses, but if I'm buying a course, the guy has to acknowledge the truth first. If you don't want to acknowledge the truth, I'm not buying a course from you, bro. Simple as that. I might as well design my own course then, if that's the case, because I could do a better job than you. At least my course will have the truth in it. But that's the thing. I mean, very few guys talk about this. King Human spoke about it a long time ago. But King Human, I don't know what that guy is doing right now. He's gambling and I don't know what he's doing. His old videos were really good, like when he talked about the system and where cogs in the matrix and how the system is lying to us and all that. His old video, but he stopped doing those a long time ago. It must be about 5, maybe even 10 years ago. But yeah, very few guys talk about this. I mean, Dan Pena, who we know is, Dan Pena, obviously we criticize Dan Pena as well, but he did speak about it to a certain extent but he didn't really speak about it in detail. I think the best person that spoke about it is probably King Human, um, back in the days, but nowadays there's nobody speaking about this. I'm a strong believer that guys are just obsessed with doing what they believe is easy. And the thing is, I've given you guys the easy way out. And the thing is, it's not bad to do what's easy. It's good to do what's easy, provided what you're doing actually works. That's the thing. I mean, people want to do what's easy that doesn't even work. Or just work a typical 9 to 5, man. Just, working a typical 9 to 5 ain't gonna save you. I ain't gonna save you. You're delusional, man. Working a typical 9 to 5 ain't gonna save your ass. That's the thing. I mean, eh, you need to do more than that. Thing is with me is that I've got plans to be making millions within the next 2 to 3 years, bro. And you can't do that with a 9 to 5, and you need millions, even if you're going overseas, because we don't know how much longer we got to be able to work. But it's like when I gave you the easy way out, I told you guys years ago, 5 years ago, to start an online business and plan to go overseas, man. And now you're seeing that it's actually a good idea. But all the prices have gone up by now. You guys should have done that before. But it's easier to go overseas. It's easier to retire overseas. Easier to live a good life overseas. Is provided you got a solid income coming through from outside sources. But this system that we're living under, bro, like I call it the slavery system. It is a slavery system. It is absolutely a slavery system. Why is it a slavery system? It's a slavery system because you have to buy your freedom from living the life that you're living, the life that you never chose to live in the first place. I never chose to grow up poor in the Western world. You know, if I knew what was happening, I would have said I don't want that. But that's the thing. That's what was given to me. I never chose that. And most people, and this is a sad reality, most people never get to live the life that they want to live, right? They never get to that point because we're living under a slavery system. So how can it be slavery? You can be free. You're not under this working world, for the rest of your life. Yeah, well, some people are if you die before you retire. Some people are if you die before you can retire. And on top of that, slavery was not always permanent either. There's books about it. Like, I don't know the names of the books, but there are books, and I want to read these books at some point. There are books about people who bought their freedom from slavery. Yes, you could buy your freedom from slavery back in the old days. You could actually do that. You could do that. A lot of people might not know about that, but yes, you could do that back in the day. Obviously, it was difficult. It wasn't just, that everybody could do it, but you could absolutely do it. Yes, you could. So what's the difference, man? I mean, look at the life that you're living. Would you choose to live like that if you had money? Like, let's keep it real. Like, let's keep it 100. Would you choose to live like that if you have money? No. So that means you're living in deprivation. You're living in subjugation, bro. Like, the people want to deny that they're being subjugated. It's like that's what I really hate about people. It's like Of course you're being subjugated under the system, you know. And people go to communism. Oh, communism is a solution. There is no solution for every person. Communists are just lazy bastards who want to believe there's a solution for everyone. How can there be a solution for everyone? That doesn't even exist. There's no solution for everyone, bro. Like, you can only save yourself and those who are willing to put the work in. That's why communism is one of the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. It's selling to you that there's a solution for everyone. No, there's not, because we're not all equal. Some people ain't got what it takes. I got what it takes. That's why I'm doing it. Why guys go to doomerism? Because they ain't got what it takes. They shouldn't be here in the first place. I don't believe in doomerism, man. I believe in doing what it takes to improve your situation. But at the end of the day, it's not like I'm not going to acknowledge the situation in the first place. Yeah, I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to acknowledge that, yes, we're living under a slavery system. We're living under a system that forces us to pay taxes and tells us it's illegal for us not to pay taxes, but yet the taxes that we're told to pay aren't even improving the country. Look at this country, the UK. Look at this country, the UK. The country's been in decline since 2007, all right? We're approaching it, 2 decades of decline, and it will get there, right? And yet we're paying taxes. Paying taxes for what? The country is finished. The NHS is finished. The whole system is coming to a fall, and they're telling you keep paying taxes. The taxes don't work. Evidently, they don't work. So why are we paying them? Why are we paying? Because it's a scam. All taxes is to stop you from retiring, to keep you in the rat race. You can't see that? Like, that's all it is, bro. That's why you go overseas, so that you can retire earlier, man. It makes perfect sense, but people are so dumb. They're gonna vote in this election coming up in the UK, thinking that's gonna save them. Yeah, if you believe in politics, this ain't the channel for you. I don't give a toss about politics, bro. Politics is the biggest load of garbage I've ever seen in my life. These politicians are crooks anyway. So why are you even following these people? Oh, you gotta keep paying taxes or otherwise we're gonna throw you in jail. Yeah, that's a slavery system right there, man. That's a slavery system right there. Just keep paying your taxes like a good little boy. Yeah, that's why I say you gotta get out of paying taxes, man. By hook or by crook, you gotta find a way to get out of paying these dastardly, evil, corrupt, tyrannical taxes. You gotta get out of paying them because they're no good anyway. They're no good. Get out of paying these taxes. It's only there to stop you from retiring. Think about how much people pay in taxes. If they didn't have to pay those taxes, they'd be able to retire earlier. They would. People pay hundreds of thousands or, millions in taxes throughout their working life, bro. You think that's not going to make a difference? Of course it's going to make a bloody difference if you didn't have to pay them. Of course it's going to make a difference. Of course it's going to make a bloody difference, but that's the thing. They want you to keep paying them because it benefits them. It benefits them to keep you under their thumb and keep you locked in. I don't want to pay taxes anymore. Pay taxes for what? What do I want to pay taxes for? And that's the thing. It's like this slavery system that we're living under. Are we supposed to just pretend like it doesn't exist and pretend like this system is good? Like, what's good about it? The country is failing, the country is getting worse every year, but yet they want to tell you it's good. What's good about it? Oh, we got freedom. We got freedom. They don't have freedom in other countries. What freedom do you have? You're not living anything on your terms, bro. There's nothing about your life that's on your terms. You don't live in the house you want to live in. You know, you don't work where you want to work. You're forced to pay taxes even though you don't want to pay them. I mean, what's freedom about? There's no freedom. You can't stop working. If you stop working, you go broke. I mean, what's freedom about the system? Ain't nothing freedom about it. Oh, you got freedoms, yeah, in your dreams, man. The freedom has gone down in the Western world because how come people used to retire at 50? And now people are supposed to retire at 70. Beyond that, there ain't even going to be any jobs when people are 70. So people are going to be on universal basic income. So now they got no economic empowerment at all. They just destined to remain poor for the rest of their life. And this is what we're going to see. The idea that there's freedom is nonsense. What freedom do you have? People need to stop believing in bollocks and get their head out their ass and understand the real world that we're living in, bro. Stop believing in freedom, man. Stop believing in that absolute nonsense. Oh, we're free, we're free. How are we free, bro? How? You tell me how we're free. You tell me how we're free. Oh, because you can retire one day if you make enough money, which most people aren't going to make enough money to retire because the universal basic income, there aren't going to be any jobs. So even that argument has gone out the window now. So it's finished, man. It's finished. It's finished. People have that issue with like accepting that it's finished. I don't, but a lot of people have like that issue. They can't accept it's finished. They can't put their hands up and accept it's finished. It's finished. I can. See, I can. I don't have an issue with doing that. I have no issue. I have no qualms putting my hands up and accepting it's finished. Because it is finished. It is. I mean, what am I supposed to say? It's not finished? Of course it's finished. It's finished. It's finished, man. Like, stop the BS. Stop the cap, as the Americans like to say. It's finished. It's finished. It's over for most people. Most people are absolutely done and dusted, bro. Done and dusted. You can stick a fork in them. They're done. They're finished. I've been saying this for the longest time. People want to believe in all the BS politics and all that. Oh, it's a great country, all that nonsense that they sell to you. Absolute, complete and utter nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense they preach. There's no truth to it. We're living under a tyrannical, evil, wicked system. And there's no way you're gonna convince me that it's not, bro. I mean, I never wanted to live like this, bro, at all. I wanted to live a luxury life, and I will live a luxury life, and we're gonna talk about that at the end of this video. But just look at your life. Just look at the life that you're living. Look at how you're living. Look at what you actually want in life. It goes like back to what I said back then. I said like choosing a life versus being forced to live a life. And that's really what it comes down to. Is like when you, as a guy, you say that, let's say you are living impoverished, right? Or you're living deprived. Did you want to live like that, or was that given to you? See, it's the difference between the life that you choose and the life that's given to you. The life that's given to you means that you do what they say the average society, normie society tells you to do. And when you do what normie society tells you to do, your life is terrible, you know? Now you got frauds like Elon Musk telling people have kids, have kids, have kids. Have kids for what? So that I can remain impoverished? Like, what kind of not like, and people listen to this guy? Have kids for what? Why don't you give your money to people to have kids, you fraud? Why telling people to have kids? You have 10,000 kids then. Oh, I got 12 kids. Yeah, you got 12 kids and you got 10,000 times more money than people. But you want to say 12 kids ain't jack. So you have 10,000 kids, have more kids than Genghis Khan. How about that? Oh, have kids, man, have kids. I ain't having no kids to keep you in a rat race longer, to keep you enslaved under the system. Everything they tell you is to keep you enslaved under the system longer, bro. Now they're trying to tell people, don't do any of the shit that society tells you to do. They want you to be under their thumb, paying their wicked, evil, corrupt taxes. They want you to be under them, bro. Stop engaging with these people. Pleading with the government to lower the taxes, bro. Stop working these jobs anyway. Stop working these jobs that take your taxes at source. They do that in the UK. They take your taxes at source, which means you don't even get paid until the taxes are taken off. Stop working them jobs as well. The best you can do is declare your own taxes, or find a way like nomad capitalists, don't pay them at all, or pay 1% or 2% or something that, try and do that, bro. Like, don't be some mainstream normie guy and fucking end up on universal basic income and end up broke and alone and dead in an apartment, like those people in Japan. Have you seen what happens in Japan, bro? They end up dead and alone in an apartment complex with a pizza box in the bin. You know, I seen those videos, bro. They're sweeping up dead bodies. They're on YouTube. I mean, this is the reality, bro. Like, this is the reality. People don't want to accept the reality. People are running away from the reality, man. This is a cold world that we're living in. It's an incredibly cold and brutal world that we're living in, guys. And this is the thing. I mean, I don't want to end this on a negative note, so I'm going to give a positive at the end. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot. People ain't willing to put the work. This is a fight. You got to look at it as you're freeing yourself from slavery, because that's what it is. We are slave under this system, and becoming rich is freeing and taking those shackles off and freeing yourself from slavery, freeing yourself from forced labor, freeing yourself from paying taxes, man. You know, which is basically, and they think, oh, we've thrown religion in the can, so therefore you got more freedom. That's another scam as well, because the church used to steal money from the people, and now the government steals money from the people. So what's the difference? Oh, we're righteous, man. No, you ain't right. Ain't nothing righteous about this government. Why do they take taxes from us? And the countries get, see, I could see if they were taking taxes from us and we're living in a utopia. The country hasn't improved for 2 decades, 3 decades. The country never improved since I was even cognizant of my reality. When has it, what's improved about it? It's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. But yet you're still paying taxes. So taxes are a scam, but they want you to keep doing it. Or don't question the scam. Don't question the scam or put you in jail. It's just like back in the days when it was Christianity, and if you questioned it, they throw you in jail. What's the difference? Oh, we got freedom in the West. There's no freedom in the West, bro. If you believe there's freedom in the West, you're delusional, bro. You got Stockholm syndrome. I don't know how anybody can think there's freedom under this system, bro. You gotta be crazy. There was more freedom back in the old days, but even then, but now, if you can't see now that the freedom has gone all the way gone, there is nothing now, bro. If you can't see that, bro, I don't know what to say to you, man. I don't know if there's anything to say to you at that point. I mean, it's a nightmare. It's a bloody effing nightmare, bro. It's a nightmare, and that nightmare will only end when you become rich. People don't want to accept that, but that's the harsh reality. The nightmare only will ever end when you become rich. As much as you want to run away from becoming rich, as much as you want to pretend like, oh, it's too hard to become, okay, don't become rich then. Don't become rich then and see what happens to you. You think I want to do all this shit? Bro, I'm trying to escape slavery. You know, I don't want to do any of this shit. I'm the laziest person on the planet. I used to play video games 6 hours a day. So you think I wanna do any of this shit? No, I don't. But I have to do it because I don't want to be enslaved for the rest of my life. This ain't about driving the latest Ferrari or Lamborghini. This is about escaping slavery, and that's what people don't understand. They think that these idiots on the internet. Oh, I don't care about becoming rich. Uh, it's not. I don't need the materialistic. This ain't got nothing to do with materialism. That has absolutely nothing to do with this. This is about escaping the slavery system, bro. That's what it's about. Has absolutely nothing to do with materialism. People just say dumb shit and think that they're smart because you know. Because it might sound smart to some people. It's not even smart, but It's like, bro, you don't even understand the system, bro. It's nothing to do with materialism at all. Has absolutely nothing to do with materialism. But anyway, I said I'm gonna end this on a positive note, man. And yeah, I do get angry. I get angry and I get very angry because we're not taught anything about the world, man. We're just left out to dry. And if you don't discover this stuff, you live your whole life in ignorance. You live your whole life in ignorance because you don't discover the reality and the truth. But I'm gonna try and do some more of these talking to myself while I'm working videos. Yeah, they're not gonna get views because most people are bozos and they don't want the truth, man. They just want entertainment. Oh, the Unreal Man, he's entertaining. He makes jokes about people. Yeah, you're not a true Unreal Man supporter. Oh, you're entertaining, Unreal. Yeah, you're not a true Unreal Man supporter, bro. I don't care what you think about me. Even if you like me, I'm not here as an entertainer. I'm an educator, okay? But ending this on a positive note, bro, and that's when you touch down in these other countries, bro, that's when the life of luxury begins, bro. That's when you start living how you actually want to live. See, the whole thing, what we've been sold in the West is a lie that, oh, this is a good life in the West and overseas is a worse life. That's a lie. See, that was true back when, in like 1997 or like 2000, back when these countries were like jungles. That was true at one point. It's not true anymore. It hasn't been true for a substantial amount of time now. Of course, at one point it was true. These countries were equivalent to the jungle, but they are no longer the jungle. They are now, actually, you can actually live a very good life in these countries. I'm talking about living a life of luxury, bro. I'm talking about getting out of bed. Your maid comes, makes you up your bed, serves you with a freshly squeezed orange juice every morning, coconut water, whatever you like, you know, you just living that easy life, bro. You're living that, some people like to call it the soft life. You're living that sort, you, you got your personal driver. If you want one, you got your personal assistants. If you want a I personally want personal assistants, bro. Like, and that's the thing. It's like, you go out to these countries and they roll the red carpet out for you. Why? Because you got the money. It's all about money, man. Everything is revolving around money. You buy your freedom because you got money. If you don't have money, you're pretty much enslaved. You're pretty much a slave in this world. You touch down and you get the fruits of your hard labor. Yeah, you can get the fruits in your hard labor in the West for like a week, and then you run out of money. I mean, that's the thing. All these guys are going broke because the Western world is very expensive, incredibly expensive to live a good lifestyle, which is why people who are living like shit in the West because they don't want to go broke. But at the same time, and that's the thing, they're only going to start enjoying life when they retire. I mean, who knows how long we're going to be on this planet? I'm starting to enjoy life when I touch down overseas, man. This whole living cheap, living cheap, living cheap, living cheap, it does not bring any fulfillment to you. And also, it doesn't work either in the West. I mean, the West is too competitive to live cheap. You can live cheap, but that's another lie that they tell you living cheap. Living cheap, it only works if you combine it with get rich quick, which is a lie. So therefore, living cheap doesn't work. The belief is that if you live cheap, okay, if you live cheap, somehow, okay, that through living cheap, you are gonna amass wealth with the money that you save. You're gonna turn that into wealth quickly, which is just a fantasy. That's not reality. You're not gonna turn that into wealth any way quickly. That's a bunch of absolute nonsense. But that's what they teach you. Oh, just live cheap, man. Just live cheap. I live cheap and it didn't work. That doesn't work. Because what happens with living cheap after a certain amount of time, what happens with it is that you actually start to become comfortable living cheap. You start to become comfortable living cheap, and it actually stops you from being ambitious. You become less ambitious. It's like you start holding on to what you have as opposed to um striving for more success. You start to hold on to what you have when you live cheap. That doesn't work. You're better off going overseas and living lavish. When you're living lavish, you're not going to blow through your money that quickly. Because why? Because you're overseas. So now you're overseas, you're not going to blow through your money that quickly, but you still have to make money. Otherwise, you will eventually run through your money. So you got that longer period there, right? So that's why it works better to actually go overseas and live more lavishly than to live cheap in a living cheap in the Western world. That don't work, man. That's just a scam that they sell to you, and of course they're selling you that bullshit. Of course, oh, just live cheap in the Western world, man. That's your solution. That ain't a solution to nothing. It's not the solution. Live cheap in the Western world, my ass. When I go overseas, I'm living lux, bro. And yeah, I'm gonna be spending a lot of money, but guess what? That's gonna give me the edge to make more money because I'm not in that mindset of just holding on, holding on, holding on. I'm in that mindset to win and keep winning more. So yeah, when I go overseas, I'm living lux, bro. I'm not living like some regular guy because I don't see myself as a regular guy and I never wanted to live like a regular guy. That's what was given to me. I never chose that. I never wanted to live regular. I wanted to live lux. And I'm gonna live lux, and that's the thing. I wanted to live lux and I'm gonna live lux. And ain't a damn thing. And there ain't nobody that's gonna stop me. 'Cause why? 'Cause I'm committed to it. I'm committed to success. I'm committed to wealth. And this is what you have to be as a man. You have to be committed to success. You have to be committed to wealth. By any means necessary, man. You touch down, you're living good, you're living lux. You got your beachside condo, the sea view with the balcony and the jacuzzi on the balcony, bro. That's all I'm talking about. Infinity pools, everything, man. Rooftop, what they call it? Like, infinity pools on a rooftop, right? They put barbecues on the rooftop every night. Every night, barbecues on the rooftop with the infinity pool. That's what I'm talking about, but not this kind of life that you're living in the West. The life you're living in the West is dog shit. It's boring, and not only is boring, it doesn't inspire you. It inspires you to become negative and self-hating and even violent and dangerous, man. Struggle When you struggle for too long, it does not breed success. That's a myth. What they try to sell to you that, if you're struggling in the West, that will give you the impetus to become successful. It is true to a certain extent, but after a certain period of time, you start to become bogged down, and you actually start to become angry, hateful, and even dangerous and violent even. And that's the thing. That's why people in the West are crazy, bro. That's why a lot of people, everybody needs to come out the West for a certain period of time. Everybody needs to come out for a certain period of time. Otherwise, you go crazy, man. You will go crazy if you're just staying in the West your whole life. I see people that stay in the West their whole life and they're crazy. Yeah, they are crazy, man. No doubt about it. They're crazy people, man. They lost their damn mind because they look at the life that they're living. Their life is terrible, man. And the weather in the UK is also terrible. But if you actually like become rich, bro, like you're not gonna be suffering. You're not gonna be struggling. you're actually gonna start living the life that you dreamed of. You're actually gonna start living the life that you actually wanted to live, not some fake bullshit life that you never even wanted to live like that in the first place. You never wanted to live like that. Who wanted to live like that? I sure didn't. I never wanted to live like that. That's what was given to me, but I never wanted it. I didn't want that bullshit. I wanted to live lux, right? But that's the thing. So you have to understand all these things. All these things are very important. It's very important, like, to understand why you think the way that you think, why you behave the way that you behave, why you you know, I'm starting to lose my train of thought, but basically understanding the situation you're in and what you need to do to come out of it. That's what I'm trying to really break down and really trying to say to you guys, man. You have to find a way out of this. You have to. By hook or by crook, your life has to be dedicated because trust me, bro, it's worth it. A lot of people think it's not worth it. It's worth it now more than ever because the life is so bad nowadays and it's only getting worse. When the AI takeover comes and you still have to work, you ain't got enough money to retire, what you gonna do? You ain't even got no economic empowerment. There's nothing for you to do. You may not even have enough money to leave. You may not even be able to leave. You might be banned from leaving the country. You might be trapped in the Western world and, trapped in. They might say you can't leave the country. There's robots outside, like Fallout. I'm going to talk about that in another video. I'm going to talk about the future plans of, what they're going to do, what I think they're going to do. But anyways, man, I said enough. It's the Unreal Man here, Truth and Mass. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you aren't already, make sure you hit that notification bell so you kind of I messed up the outro. Let me start that again. It's the Unreal Man here, the Truth and Mass. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you aren't already. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're informed every time I load a new video.